Hello and welcome to Sports Vehicle Performance, and today we are back with our Porsche 987 project, and today I'm going to be showing you how to install an aftermarket steering wheel to a 997 987. So let's go have a look. Now, before we get started with anything, I'm going to go ahead and tell you now to disconnect your negative terminal. We do this because this allows you a good 15-20 minutes to allow any static energy left over in the system to drain, as we are operating with an airbag. The last thing we want is this thing to go off. So to do this, you'll just need a 10mm spanner and pull the negative terminal off and out of the way. Now I've disconnected the negative terminal, as said, just got to wait 15-20 minutes to allow all the static energy to drain from the vehicle. But I'm going to go ahead and show you what steering wheel we've picked out for this car. Starting out with the steering wheel, we've gone ahead and chosen ourselves a WRC OMP wheel. It's got a semi-dish. You can read the label there, if you can see it. So yeah, it's got a slight dish on it, and it is like a suede Alcantara material. You can see it there in the bag. Just much preferred. I think slightly smaller than the standard steering wheel, and with a deeper dish as well. Just gives a better feel to the car, and hopefully better drivability as well. Just more feel for the steering wheel. And to fit it, we've gone with a MOMO adapter. This actually comes with fitting instructions as well, so always good just in case you need them. You can see it there. There you go. And we've got the horn ring. In the bottom of the bag here, we've got all the resistors and stuff to plug in the steering wheel to basically mean there's no lights on the dash. So we may need this depending on what system it is, and of course the fitting kit as well. So we've got an Allen key there in case you're doing this at home, and just a load of stuff about the thing as well. So yeah, that's the kind of kit we've gone for anyway. That's all there. Let's go and take a look inside. So now we've just finished taking a look at the steering wheel we're going to be fit. We're now going to look at the one in the car. Now there are slight differences between the Gen 1 and Gen 2. The Gen 2 has a slight circular airbag instead of the one like this in the Gen 1 cars. But they are basically exactly the same. There's a little hole just in the center of the steering wheel. Make sure it's the steering wheel and not the steering column. Definitely the center of the steering wheel. Basically there's a little retaining clip or spring kind of system. What you do is you push a screwdriver or an Allen key or something like that up, and what you'll do is you push the spring up until your airbag pops forwards, and then you can go ahead and remove your airbag. So we're going to get on with doing that now using an Allen key. So I finally managed to get the airbag out of the car. It's definitely not the easiest. You can find yourself here for quite a while fiddling with it. It's just quite difficult. There isn't really a bit of advice I can give you. The only thing I did that might be slightly differently is I ended up swapping to a T25 Torx driver. And when I went through the centre, I found myself going left and right and just really trying to shake the top, as all I got was the left-hand side popping out on mine. You might have just the right-hand side popping out and you need the left-hand side to pop out. So what I can recommend is just trying to move the driver or whatever tool you're using right side to side, and hopefully with a bit of fiddling you can get your airbag to remove. So the next thing to do with the airbag out is I'm just going to lower it down onto my leg here, and we've got to go ahead and remove this little clip here. Now I'm going to pick up my flat head screwdriver, and as you can see it's just a little clip like that, so that just pushes down and it popped itself out for us. So here it is here, there's the airbag. Now what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to go ahead and place this underneath the car, just like this. And the reason I do that is just if in case the airbag goes off, it doesn't harm anyone or anything like that, it's in a safe place and can't do any damage to us or the vehicle. So it's best to place it under the floor and out of the way. Next up is to remove the centre bolt of the steering wheel. Now, I'm going to be using an M12 spline socket, but if you're at home and you don't have access to spline sockets, I think you can get away with the T55 Torx driver. It seems to fit pretty well, but if you do have any spline sockets, I'd definitely recommend using them just to stop you from rounding the socket. So that's what I'm going to use now. Now with the bolt partially off, I would now at this point go ahead and make sure the steering wheel is loose, and then put it back on basically. This is just to make sure that if the bolt is fully removed, you don't then pull the steering wheel off and accidentally hit yourself in the face or something stupid like that. So just take your time before doing so. Now quickly, just before you do remove the steering wheel, I have gone ahead and marked mine with a little marking with a paint pen. This is just in case, I guess, you're putting your old one back on or for any purposes like that. And also just so you know where the centre of your steering wheel is. So now it gives us the option to remove the steering wheel. There we go, place it on the floor, and now we have access to the clock spring. Well, moving on to the clock spring, we've got to go ahead and cut off this little plastic bit here. Obviously, it depends which steering wheel you're fitting, but with our one, we need to remove this little plastic. I believe it's like a little retaining clip. It's nothing important, just quite easily cut it off, and then once it's cut, I'm going to go ahead and file it down with a file that I've got here. Now, I've just left the airbag for a bit, and now I'm going to go ahead and remove the wiring on it. So this clip is very simple. If you just go ahead and push with a flat blade on the top, you should get the clip. Seems to play a bit stuck now. You push it down and there we go, the black clip off. And these two, the yellow and the green, if you come here, give it a bit of a pry, you'll see this bit pulls up. Same on the green. And then they should both, if we're any lucky, pull up like that. And same with the yellow one. Try not to damage the clip, and there we go. Now we've got the wiring off the airbag, see it all there, and now we can use that in the car. So once you've gone ahead and removed the airbag wiring, what you need to do is plug it into the top plug here. So you can see it there. So you need to plug that in and then feed it through your boss, through the sensor, and then once you've done that, is make sure you've lined it up as well as you can, and go ahead and push it, if I can do it while holding the camera, on without damaging the clock spring. And again, make sure you've also cut that section off the bottom of the clock spring, otherwise this won't go down. You'll have that bit of plastic in the way. And then what you want to go ahead and do is, once it's pushed down, is you'll then want to go ahead and talk about doing the bolt up. But first, I've gone ahead and put, you can see these are two resistors into the plugs. Now what these will do is these will stop the airbag light from coming on. Now, as you may notice, one of them came with the kit, and one of these is different. One of these is an aftermarket one that we have in our stores. I probably wouldn't recommend something this big. You can get more like loose ones that are a lot smaller, but this is just what we happen to have here at the time. So yeah, but once you've got them in, do the bolt up through the center and make sure to use Loctite. I'll do that now, I'll show you how to do it. And then basically we've got to feed these around the boss once the bolt's in, and then hopefully we can allow the steering wheel to fit on top of the boss without the plugs and the wiring getting in the way. So I'll go ahead and show you how to install the bolt now. Now the best way to do this, I'd recommend using the socket that you use, take it off and basically pick it up and feed it down inside of the insert. It's definitely not the easiest, but hopefully if you get it in far enough. There you go, I'm starting to turn it now. That'll do, yeah. So if you're doing this at home, just make sure you get it down as tight as physically possible, and also use Loctite. Cannot stress that enough. The last thing you want is this thing coming loose, especially while driving. You have no idea how loose it can come. So yeah, just take your time, make sure you've done it up properly and well enough, and all tight, no movement in your boss. So yeah, that's all good. Now we're going to go ahead and push these wires down, as I said before, until we can get them all to fit in neat and nicely. Then once they're in, we can go ahead and install the steering wheel. Well, there we go, just gotten the brand new steering wheel on. I'd definitely say it's looking a lot better, feels a lot nicer than the old one anyway. Definitely prefer the suede Alcantara feel of this one, just gives it a much more performance feel. And also the fact it's a lot smaller as well, it just gives the space, and it's just so much better than the standard steering wheel. So yeah, the last thing to do before we finish a job is to go ahead and reconnect the battery, and that way we can turn the ignition and make sure the steering wheel is definitely straight. Because yeah, the last thing you want is to put this on and it'd be out of tooth or something like that. So that's what we need to go ahead and do now. So one thing I've just finished off doing is wiring up the horn. It's quite simple. As you can see, there's 2 little pins that I've had to wire in. On mine, yours might be slightly different. You might be able to plug yours straight into the clip at the back of the steering wheel. It just depends what car you've got. Unfortunately, it doesn't mean you have to cut things, but just keep the plugs, keep whatever you take off, and then it should mean that if you do come to sell the car or take the steering wheel back off, you can always solder stuff back together. Or if you're not comfortable doing wiring, you can always send this to a professional to get it done properly. So that way you don't have to worry about it. And as you can see, the horn is working perfectly, so that's what we want. So now next up, we can move on to removing the battery. Now, one more thing before we do reconnect the battery I wanted to mention is that in case you have a PDK car and you do want to install one of these OMP wheels, we actually do a paddle upgrade kit for one of these cars. So much better. We use like race car style gear change paddles, which are a much improvement, give you a much better feel, and they don't feel as fake and plastic as standard car ones. They give you much better feedback as well. So that is a highly recommended upgrade as well. So that's in case you do want to do this to a PDK car, so you can always do it. Well, there we go, the steering wheel is all straight. Just gone ahead and checked that and reconnected the battery as well, so that's all done. Now you may have a PSM light on your dash. This should clear with just driving the vehicle at low speeds. Lock to lock as well, make sure to do stuff like that. So yeah, try lock to lock. If this works, hopefully the light should clear. But other than that, that is really it for this video. Hopefully you've enjoyed. Don't forget to like, subscribe and comment, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.